Who am I to tell a foreign country how they should run their country? I'd be going, you're the enemy here, mate. This is my country. I'll sort my country out. Thank you very much. I don't need you invading. It's a foreign country with foreign people on a foreign continent. I don't care.
But do you feel that nowadays, like if we look at the last 20 years, do you feel Britain, because it has intervened, for example, in the Middle East with America, and also in countries like Pakistan, for example, Pakistan is a country where America does not allow a democratic process. It doesn't allow Pakistani people to vote for the person that they want. They want Imran Khan. And America has installed a puppet government that the Pakistani people don't want. And that government is just doing what America wants, not what is in the best interest of Pakistani people. And therefore, the country is continuing to be shit and will be for the future because they're not being given a fair chance. Then those people are coming here. Do you really expect then those people to care about Britain? Like, what are your thoughts about that? Do you feel our government and the way it's been operating the last couple of decades has a big part to play in all of this?
Oh, yes. Post-Second World War, we've interfered in far too many countries with wars and behind the scenes. Some of it you can understand. It was a Cold War at the time. We were fighting Russia and we had lots of proxy wars in Asia and Africa. That's what the Vietnam War was basically about. But then since then, you know, we're looking at the Middle East. Why do we interfere? Because let's be honest, most politicians don't even understand the complexities of those areas. We don't understand the tribal instincts of those areas. We think they're a country. They're not countries. They're a collection of tribes, and some of those tribes and clans are split along borders. So, you know, because we created those countries after the First World War, a lot of them. So we don't understand the people. We don't understand the culture. Part of us don't want to understand them because we look down upon them as inferior to us, and you'll do as you're told, which is okay if you're willing to back it up with military force. But we're not anymore now. So we need to stop interfering in those countries, and we must allow them to run the countries they want to run. That's why I don't even criticize the Taliban in Afghanistan about how they're treating women. Who am I to tell a foreign country how they should run their country? I may disagree with it, but it's not my business. It's up to the people who live in Afghanistan to overthrow the Taliban and to have a better country. We spent 20 years and trillions of dollars there. And did we make any impact? No, we haven't. We keep spending foreign aid in loads of countries. Does it make anything better? No, it doesn't. We keep sending our armies to the Middle East. We make everything worse. And when we leave those countries with millions of people dead, we then wonder why the people there suddenly hate us. Well, if Iraq invaded the UK because we've got a grooming gang scandal here and our politicians are covering up, so if Iraq invaded to help us uncover the grooming gang scandal, I wouldn't be thankful to Iraq. I'd be going, you're the enemy here, mate. This is my country. I'll sort my country out. Thank you very much. I don't need you invading. And if those countries get worse and have civil wars and kill millions of each other, part of me goes, well, that's what you're entitled to do. Because until some of these countries and some of these clans and tribes have a bloodletting and wipe each other out, there'll never be peace. How do you think we got peace in the Western world? It was about mass murder, slaughtering our enemies. You know, that's why we've still got the Palestine-Israel problems going on, because Israel is never allowed to wipe them all out. If they wiped out every single Palestinian, but I'm not saying they should do, but if they did, there'd be no more trouble. And that's what some of these Middle Eastern countries need to do. They need to sort themselves out, and we need to let them do it. Unless they then start interfering and creeping their problems closer to the UK, then there's a national interest. But until that happens, we need to give people and countries the room and the room to make mistakes, the room to commit atrocities, the room to learn how to be a better nation. And when we use the phrase better nation, what we really mean is more like the West, more like Britain. But do you know what? There's many things in my country I don't think anybody should be copying. So we need to stop holding ourselves up as the way you should run a country. We need to leave it to the people in those countries to run it the way they see fit. And if they're running it the wrong way, the people need to overthrow that government and start again until they get the government that suits everybody. We just need to stop interfering in other people's lives.
And sorry, you mentioned Palestine, Israel, and a lot of times Britain is blamed for the cause of this whole situation over 7 decades, when apparently Britain promised the land to 3 different people, including the French, I believe, and that included the Palestinian people at the time as well. So do you feel as if that is the reason why we can't side completely with a one-state solution where it's all Israel, and actually it's our responsibility to support a 2-state solution, to give that a go? What is your thoughts about this? Do you think we've started this, and what should we do now?
Mine's is easy. I don't care if we started it or didn't start it 70 years ago. Ancient history now. It's a foreign country with foreign people on a foreign continent. I don't care. I don't care if Israel survives. I don't care if Palestine survives. I don't care if we have a greater Israel. I don't care if we have a 2-state solution. Not my problem. I don't care. And I can't have had that rant a minute ago about how we need to keep out of other people's problems and countries, and then suddenly have a different opinion on Israel and Palestine. I don't care. Not going to get involved. Don't care.
And do you feel as if that is how the majority of people in this country feel, where the citizens are just so tired now? They're just so tired. We're like, we've got so many issues in our country, let alone worrying about other people's countries. Although what's happening is awful. My prayers are with anyone all around the world in any kind of war situation or anything bad going on. And I've got everyone in my prayers, regardless of race and religion. I feel what I sense is people are just so tired now, because they're tired of our politicians meddling in other people's affairs. They're tired of our politicians creating issues for us, right? Whether those issues were created, I don't know, 100 years ago, 7 decades ago, or even now, where they're just not listening to what we want. And we're just feeling down and weak, basically, right? Do you feel that as well?
Yeah, foreign policy is a way for mediocre politicians to get a foot on the world stage and look a little bit like Churchill. That's all international politics is all about. If we're going to interfere in someone else's country, don't you think we shouldn't be having girls being gang raped in this country first? Don't you think if we're going to interfere in another country, don't you think our finances in this country should be spot on to begin with, and we're not trillions in debt, and we're not cancelling pensioners' winter fuel allowance? We've got that much going wrong in this country. How do we think anyone else in any other part of the world is ever going to listen to us? I wouldn't listen to us if I was living in the Sudan or I was living in Bangladesh. Why am I listening to you? Because you've not got a decent country anyway anymore now. So we need to start concentrating on ourselves. Our politicians are elected to represent the people of that country, and they keep forgetting that, and we keep interfering in other people's business because it's a distraction technique. If we can say to the British public, oh, look, Colonel Gaddafi's about to invade this city and there's going to be 10,000 people dead, shall we bomb it? And everyone goes, well, to save 10,000 people in Benghazi, yeah, bomb it. And it's like, well, they don't want you talking about how unemployment's out of control in this country. They don't want you talking about the NHS is failing and how doctors don't know a man from a woman and are chopping the breasts off healthy girls because you think she's a boy. But they want you talking about foreign wars, foreign interference. They want you talking about terrorism because they can't be blamed for terrorism per se. So therefore, you have your mind on these external problems. Dictators do this all the time. Every dictator is at war with a neighboring country because it's the only way to get your population to do as it's told. And that means I'm saving you from him. You might think I'm bad, but he's worse than me and I'm going to save you from him. Our politicians do the same sort of thing with distraction. Look at that country. Look how bad they are. Don't look at what we're doing here, though.
So they are trying to basically make us look the other way,
yes.
Distract us. Yeah, that's the old trick, isn't it? Distract, basically.